we have missed you. I personally have missed you. Welcome again to the podcast, Puzzles of Life. My name is Kanana Kagwara, and I'm accompanied by the one and only
Godfrey Mwangi, and I am glad to be here and good to see you.
It sounds
bubbly as usual.
It sounds like it's ages since you saw me.
Yeah, it has been quite some time, but I am glad to see you, and you're bubbly as usual.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
and you know, I'm looking forward to discuss one more puzzle of life. So yeah.
So today's puzzle of life is on relationships. So we'll be tackling or learning or expounding more about relationships in family, building relationships with our peers, building relationship within the office spaces, and understanding, breaking it down so that we don't have toxic relationships. How an ideal kind of relationship should look like, and aspects of relationship. So today, that's the puzzle we are tackling.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
From your own perspective, what's your understanding of a relationship in the context, just general, then I will come back to the context.
Yeah, if there is one thing that we share in common and also something that we struggle with, it's relationship, how to grow them, how to manage them, how to make them work for us and for the people that we have a relationship with.
Yeah.
So, and as adults, we have, you know, three kinds of relationship mainly. We have family relationship, and that just extend to, yes, your family, like if you have a husband, kids, but also people you are born in the same family. So, you know, then you have another family or another relationship at work. So this relationship is quite different from the family one, because this looks at your skill set, how you're able to integrate with people, how you're able to interact with them, what you bring on the table. they ask, and you see, many of us want to portray ourselves as perfect when it comes to that relationship, because it's really more transactional than anything else. Then there is and peers. Those people we again called acquaintances. You know each other, you know what they do, they know what you do, and sometimes you call with linkages or support here and there. It's another category of people that they are not really our inner core friends. They are not our colleagues at work, but they are key pillars of our lives in terms of growth. These are people who can really help you. So from my perspective, that is how I see it.
You mentioned about having friendships, and one of the things that I've really struggled with is understanding on how to build friendships and maintaining friendships. As you said, I'm very bubbly, but I have struggled over years on how to maintain friendship, because for me, an example for myself, I make friendships very easily, and I connect with people in diverse backgrounds very fast. But now maintaining and sustaining the relationship is what I've struggled with in the past. I've been aware about it, and I'm working on it. And one of the key issues we have is what I've even had people mention around my circle is the intentionality of building safe and true and friendships that you know are impactful in your life, and being able to filter that. How would you, like, maybe from your perspective, advise us as a psychologist?
Yes.
Hey. How would you, from your own wisdom, how best can we go around the approaches of friendship? Because for me, if you're friends, I used to think that we have to have, you're very deep for me. Like, I used to approach friendship, we know each other, we are good. Let's roll with it. But I discovered, this is now with in my 30s, that you have to have layers of friendships. True. The inner, the outer, it's like an onion. My spouse says you have to have friendships that are like onions. That not every friendship that you have to have it together. So how do you, for us who are still learning, because I'm still learning on how to build friendships, what is your thoughts into this in terms of how do we build healthy friendships?
Interesting. And you know, I love the analogy of an onion, Lily. Let me borrow that analogy, but mix it with another analogy. So, you know, as if you want to actually know what makes up an onion, it's layers and layers until you go to the inner core. So as you go in, now the friendship becomes smaller in size, and every layer becomes smaller in size actually. But again, you know, it changes even the color. So
that one is true.
You see, even an onion categorizes itself that the inner core of the onion doesn't look like the outer core of the onion. And, you know, some onions you will taste and the inner core has, you know, like a bitter taste more than the outer core. So, you see, like that, you have to really categorize the kind of friends that you have. Because not everyone who knows your name is your friend. Not everyone who calls by your name, Carol, is your friend. So we see the onion, the outer layer. So we know this is an onion. But can we see the inner core without really, you know, cutting it in half or whatever form you want to cut it? You cannot see that. Can't. So again, for me, I see friendship like, you know, a plot of land that we love in Kenya. And I hear we have started, yes, Mogoda Maguta. And we have
phase
started
1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. There's there's a company that still sells faces up to date in a native, in a mother tongue channel, TV channel. Up to date. You wonder why that face does not end. Still the same face.
True. Okay. So you see, when you buy a plot, you're given a title deed.
Yes.
The first thing that most of us do, we actually have the fence. And the fence is to say, this is my territory. So in friendship, you have to have something called boundaries. That every friendship has boundaries. And so are the onion layers that we are talking about. They you know, you will not peel an onion and, you know, layer 3, it's, you know, imeshikana na layer 4. No. They are segmented very well. If you're dealing with layer 3,
it's layer 3.
Layer 4 will not peel.
Yeah, it's true.
So you have to segment and create those boundaries, because if you don't, then you see a colleague as your inner core. And then when you actually are not, you know, are not having that peaceful kind of friendship, then your work is affected. You pick, for example, a person that you share a desk at work to be your boyfriend or your girlfriend, but then it affects you so much when you're no longer together. Why? Because it's no longer now friendship, it's also work. And if for example, umeachwa, yes, then
okay, sorry.
Will you be able to face that person tomorrow? Because they will not miss work because
no, making it sound so together.
Yes, it's mixing things. They say, I do not mix friendship with pressure
and
or
even
business.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, it's very key that all of us are aware, who do I have in which circle? Like, for example, do not mix a person who should be a colleague, for example, and bring that person to look like a family member or someone who knows you very deeply. Because when you break that friendship, and you are hearing, like this week there was a lot of tea that was being served on our social media.
Yeah.
Why? Because some people are opening up to people who they thought they are friends, but they are not. Those people are looking for views.
Oh, yeah.
So only to record their voice and leak it online. So are those friends? No. So all of us struggle with this thing called friendship.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have physical boundaries. It doesn't.
Yeah,
sitajua by the way,
this is
Kanana na mimi tunafika hapa and I cannot go over.
Yeah.
Then we are having friends who can now not look you in the face and tell you the truth.
And that's the worst thing, where you have a friendship that all you do is smile and nobody can rebuke you when you're wrong, in the name of utakasirika.
Yes.
Then what's you'll be mad, just for another translation, that you'll be sad or you'll be offended.
Yes.
Then what's the need of having a friendship where you can't open up to be vulnerable and to be open to tell someone, to be honest, this one,
true,
this one is not right.
Yeah, and that for me is the highest kind of pretense that you can really show. Because if I cannot call you into account of what you do, if I cannot call you out and say, you're my friend, but on that, I do not share the same sentiment. I do not see it that way.
You reminded me of the day. Let me just share this.
Yes.
The day is like that. Godfrey and I have been friends since campus.
Yeah.
We've been friends for long. And we got married to different, of course, people.
Yeah.
But there was one incident where I was holding a prank from I did a prank to my spouse. What did I do? It was a job prank. I said I already took up a role.
Yeah.
I did the interviews and I'm already starting the role in a few weeks.
You have actually even signed the contract.
Signed the contract, which I didn't even tell my spouse.
Yeah.
I did it now. I was breaking the news when we were meeting with them. There were three of us, and I remember he forgot that my spouse was there, and he's like, Kanana, let me tell you one thing. What you just did is not acceptable. Marriage is supposed to be united. You're supposed to be transparent. What you just did cannot sit very well with any man. That is not, you're my friend, but I have to tell you the truth. I was like, hey, hold up. Oh, I was trying to burst in laughter, but I was like, okay, you guys, it was a prank. And I remember, but the emotional bit of how you express, and I remember my spouse stepped out, and you were left. I was grilled. By the way, if you're listening, I was thoroughly grilled. It was like, he has stepped out, but listen and listen good. What you just did is not acceptable.
Absolutely.
You don't do like that. You cannot behave like that. You're no longer single. You're married. Okay? I'm like, hey, okay, sorry. Sorry, my dear friends. Sorry, shareholders of this marriage.
True.
But at least it was a prank.
Yeah.
But the fact that you could even do it unapologetically and see la chini ya maji, it's no longer we are quoting, you did well, you got a job, so we are happy for you. It was like, you didn't share. You guys, I know you have a way you operate.
Exactly.
This is unacceptable of what you did.
True.
And doing it openly and not being ashamed to rebuke me. What? Karibu nipigwa maslaps. I was about to be slapped there and we were at an hotel. Ruru. He almost threw me, slapped left, right, and he's a friend.
True.
So those are the kind of friendships I would desire to have and
True.
already have.
Yeah.
And when you say that you need to be very truthful and very genuine and sincere, that reminded me of that incident. Oh my God, you'd have slapped me.
Look, you see, for me, I ask myself this question. There are things that I cannot keep myself accountable to.
Yeah.
And especially when you're growing old and you have more responsibility. You know, one day we were being taken to school and no one was asking you, do you like that school?
Yeah, yes.
It was like, nimepata shule, twende. And you're not being asked whether you like it or not. Now, things are changing. Like, you're now having a conversation with your child, whether they like the school they are in.
Yeah, it's true.
But those days, we were not doing that. Now, we became adults. And now, what you want is for you not to make the same mess that our moms or our dad did. You need people who are accountable and you can be accountable to as well. And people who will tell you, stop it. No, we are not doing this.
Yeah.
Or I will not sit here and watch you ruin your life. Because I want you to have a wonderful marriage. I want you to enjoy your marriage. I want you to excel. So if I don't call you out and say on this, I do not share the same sentiment with you, and I think it's very wrong. Then why am I in your life?
Yeah, it's true.
So to add that value, when we are growing older, we not only want people around us, and that's why there is a lot of depression cases, because we are actually having more population in our nation and even worldwide. So people are always around us. So why do we feel alone? If more people are actually around you, why do we still feel alone? It's because the people who are supposed to tell you the truth are not there. People are not really listening to you when you're speaking. They are thinking, am I gonna die yet? What is she expecting from me? So you're not really listening to what does McKenna have got to say about 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
What value am I adding into your life? Even as you look at new friendships that you're forming, many of them are acquaintances, to tell you the truth. Why? Because you're looking at yourself and the value they are adding to our lives. But we never pause to ask, what value am I adding?
It's what am I receiving?
Yes.
It's more of what am I receiving?
Yes.
You didn't show up for me.
Exactly.
You didn't.
So
you should have.
If you had a birthday and I didn't show up, you'll not show up in mine.
Yeah, because you didn't show up in mine.
So it's transactional. But true friendship is me coming to tell you on this date, you did wrong.
Yes.
And you should do better. Because I am in your life so that you can be better. Speak to my life. Invest in me as I invest in you. That's what relationship should be about. But we're having a lot of people who will never tell you that.
Oh, we are Nico club. I'm outing. There's something. Let's go shopping.
Exactly.
But when you don't have a job or money even to sustain it, you have nobody around that you can actually call, ask you, uko na kitungu ya kupika? Do you have rice to cook? Do you have food to eat? Nobody can ask you that. The math they would do, they are looking forward for you to, hey, can you imagine she doesn't have a job? Can you imagine she's not doing well?
Have you ever tried?
Oh my
like
God.
Someone asks you, how are you? And instead of saying, I am good, I am okay, I am well, I am fine, you start, a story. Like, just to narrate to them how you have been, have you ever focused in their faces? Many of them will be very uncomfortable.
Yes, yes.
Because they were expecting, I am fine.
A short format and then you go.
Yes.
By there, yeah, that's true.
If you start defining or describing how you have been, many people are not comfortable with that. Because they're asking themselves, what do I do with all that? and you know, in friendship, you know, and I want to bring you in. Now, let's start with the inner core of friendship.
Yeah.
Now, what we call friendship, not a colleague at work, not a family member, but a friend.
Yeah.
You see, for example, if those people share something, you really want to listen.
Yeah.
But then, if, for example, someone comes to you and asks, so Carol, how have you been? You start a story, and almost, you know, at the middle of it, they're uncomfortable. And some people actually will bring up a story to counter yours. Ati, ulienda through that? Aha!
Yangu ilikuwa mbaya.
Yangu ilikuwa mbaya. Or they say, yangu ilikuwa mbaya kuliko yako.
They pick up the story from their end.
True.
You are left with yours.
Yes. So you're wondering, were you not supposed to listen first?
You asked.
Probably help me out if you can.
Patience, women.
Yes.
Patient people.
True. Or someone says something to you, and your mind, instead of listening to what they're saying, you feel like you should fix them or you should come up with a solution.
Okay, I had that issue. I am confessing.
Would you want to share?
I agree. Sometimes I have learned not to hold back some things whenever someone would share with me.
Yes.
I find it easier to, there's a solution to it. Because I think growing up, I've grown up being a fixer of things. Like, there's an issue. What's the solution? How do we address the solution?
Yes.
To the point that even in friendships, I've discovered whenever someone states an issue, I am very quick to offer a solution. So nowadays, I am toning it down to, because it's something that someone highlighted. And being that I'm very intentional with friendships, someone highlighted and I was like, okay, if that's the issue then, because I didn't know, I didn't notice that was very repetitive. Then I was like, okay, then how do I address it? So whenever someone shares something, I would be like, for that, do I suggest something or are you comfortable? Like, I offer a suggestion if they are comfortable. If they are not, I stay with my suggestion and I listen and because sometimes my friends would be like, I don't have many friends, as you know, very few. There will be, there are times even you have called and you tell me, I want to talk, but I am not looking for a solution. I just want to share.
Exactly.
And I will be there knowing that, Kanana, don't you dare offer solutions at this point. Listen, he wants you to listen.
True.
And I've gotten to that point. I'm not there yet, 100, but I'm learning. You know, these things you keep on learning.
True.
Yeah, so it's true. There are times you want to offer solution and it's from what you're used to. Because when I was growing up, I used to be told, moto ikisha, because me I've grown in the village. Moto ikisha ukipika githeri, and utafute kuni kwa. You don't start looking for your mother to tell them, by the way, kuni githeri ijaiva, na kuni zimeisha.
You have to look for a solution.
So you look for a solution and tell them, I fixed the motor issue, the fire issue, and the pot is ready, the food is ready.
Exactly.
That is how I grew up knowing. So whenever an issue is shared with friends, I used to tend to offer solutions, and now I'm aware. So the other people who are suffering maybe the same. And nobody has told them.
True. We have a lot
I was told.
And thank you for sharing that. We have a lot of issues with people who genuinely mean well. They are just empathetic.
Yeah.
So whenever you open up to them. They're empathetic with whatever issue that you're dealing with. So they want to step in and help you because they're thinking you're looking for a solution.
Oh, yeah.
You need to be fixed.
We have a solution at hand.
We have a solution at hand.
I know someone who knows someone who can fix it.
Yes, but sometimes you're not looking for that.
Yeah, but
you're just looking for someone who will listen to you because some things are not as fixable as we want to think. Some things you will not wake up and solve.
Yeah, it's true.
Some things need time as well. So empathetic people or over empathetic people want to step in. They want to fix it. They just want. They don't want to be in a place where they're in the middle and they're asking themselves, so what do you need exactly again? What do you need? And the right thing to do whenever someone is opening up about an issue is to step back and first be aware, this is not my issue, by the way. It's Kanana opening up.
Yes.
So the first thing that she needs is me listening, not me fixing her. The first thing that she needs, it's my listening ear. Can she feel that I am really listening and understanding what she is saying? That's a first thing, not fixing people. Just because we do not want to deal with the emotional turmoils that they are going through. The second thing, even before we respond, it's knowing it is not our issue. We are not carrying that baggage with them. Like for myself, I am a psychologist. So on a daily basis, I am seeing people who have baggages.
Yes.
So imagine me picking that baggage and going with it in my house. Like how will I
it's not one, you're carrying different bags.
Not one on a daily basis.
Plus yours.
Yes. I am also a human being.
Oh my God.
So it's second recognizing it is not me. We are not suffering together. I want to be empathetic to you, but we are not suffering together.
Isn't that mean?
Actually, that is being aware of myself. Because for sure we are not. You are suffering, but you are not together. Because if I have to solve your issue or if I have to help you, I have to be on a higher ground.
Oh.
You cannot rescue me when we are drowning.
We don't know how to swim, both of us.
Yeah, and even if one of us know how to swim, I will also drown you.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to a swimming pool, when someone is drowning, the trainers hand you a stick or something that you can hold on to.
Yeah.
They do not jump in. The trainer will not jump in to save you. They will hand you something, and if you're closing your eyes, you cannot see. They will first let you drown, and when you come, they will rescue you. Because when you're fighting with the water, if they come to rescue you, they will actually drown with you.
Yeah, it's true.
They know how to swim, but you have drowned together. So you might have a solution, but if you try to now forget that it is not our issue, it is your issue, then you are worse, or you are even worse than me. Because you will come join me, be emotional, not logic, you're not thinking, and you're not helping me. I want someone sober who can tell me, by the way, I think you're a bit emotional about that. I think you're not looking at it logically. I think you can look at it this way. You see, that will help. But if, I was to tell you, oh, he did that. My goodness, men are dogs.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, it's true.
You didn't get married to a dog. I've not helped you.
Yeah, it's true.
But if I was to look at you and tell you,
they are like that.
Now, can we look at it this way? Can we ask ourselves, how does he view it? Then now I am helping you to listen. Then the third thing, people are not looking forward to be fixed. They are not doors. They do not have cracks. They are not looking for quick fixes. No, they're looking for understanding. Can you first understand? Okay, you have understood. Now, can you ask me whether I need support? Ask for my permission. Usiniambie, just because you have been in marriage for 40 years, you tell me, mwanaume akifanya hivyo
unampanganga hivi ni kwani wote wanafanana?
No, they are not coming from the same company that ujue hii ni kiatu ya bata.
Hata kiatu ya bata kuna vile mguu hazitoshanangi bado. Yeah, it's true.
Unaweza pata ni size 8 na ni size 9. I mean, they are different.
Yeah, it's true.
So they might be made of the same material.
Yeah.
But human beings have emotions. They have backgrounds. They have their own traumas. They have their own experience. They are educated differently. So their thinking, their perception, their understanding, it's totally different. And finally, when you're given the permission to give that or to suggest, then suggest.
So first we start by?
First, being aware. Listening. Listen. Don't fix. Listen.
Number 2, the issue is not your trouble is not my trouble. We are not in the same trouble.
Yes. Your trouble is not my trouble.
Yes.
If you're going through something, we are not going through
it together because we are friends.
You're coming because you need a sound mind. You need a voice of reason.
Yes. Okay. Number 3.
It's that people are not looking forward to be fixed.
Yes.
Don't fix, understand, then suggest. Now, number 3, ask for permission. Number 4, ask for permission to, give advice or your analogy or understanding of things.
So there are 3.
Yes.
Isn't it on it? I will be practicing that every single time someone reaches out as a friend, just to be present for them. Okay.
And there is also there is just one constant temptation to jump in and fix. Because you see, we are also running away from some emotional issues. So we have our own limitations. So we constantly look forward to learn from out of those emotions because we do not want to deal with all the emotion. We just want to fix it and then be done with
fix.
It. Yes. So now let's look at work.
That was deep. That was on another level.
Thank you.
For work, I think, having worked with different, as I said, my temperament is more outgoing.
Yes.
So one thing I've discovered, I used to connect with different departments very easily, and different people in different organizations very easily.
Yes.
You know, there's personalities that make you either you're bubbly and all that, so you tend to bond with people very fast. But the one thing I don't think I've had friendships. Okay, yes, I have had friends from work who have transitioned to friends, to being friends even out of work, but they are not in the inner circle, but they are friends. They are people we would just banter around on various issues or various topics or the industry we are working in. But it's not beyond that. It's not, guess what? My house is on fire. No, we are not on that level. Or by there, I'm having emotional instability at the moment. Emotionally, I'm not in my best capacity. We don't have that, but I've learned now to maintain them. But before that, I used to think we are friends. So for workspaces, how do you build friendship without cutting each other's throat, or if you pull away or you part ways, you still are friends, kikazi, work-wise. How do you maintain that? Because the reason why I'm also asking that, this week I saw a post where someone said, I'm on LinkedIn, guys. I'm on LinkedIn, just so you know. I'm very active. And I noticed someone said at a post that they had shared from one of the connection, that there's a lady who had shared on the comments or post that not on LinkedIn, I don't know from where, but it was shared on LinkedIn, that they have helped other people get jobs and get places and move to jobs. But when she needed the people the most, they didn't show up. When she needed the people the most in terms of where she thought they were friends, when she needed them the most, they didn't show up. Hence, to the point of, I think she took her life, if I'm not wrong.
My goodness.
Yes. Because she thought the same investment she has invested is
other people are will invest back.
And that made me feel a bit of sadness that we are yet to understand what friendships at the workspaces and within our peers, how we should relate to them, and what to expect and what not to expect, and the boundaries around each friendship and relationship. So in such a scenario, for her, I'm sure, I guess, I presume, maybe she helped so many people, maybe they were peers, or even people within her workspace get other opportunities, and she thought they still had the same interest at heart for her. For such incidents of friendships, how do you build friendship that you don't expect too much from them, and how do you know you're expecting too much in the first place?
Okay. You know, I sympathize and I hear, you know, a lot of those cases happen. I started by saying, sometimes we confuse the things and friendships. You see, technically speaking, work friendships are based on three things. One, you didn't choose your colleague. You found them there.
Oh, yeah.
Or they found you there.
Yes, yes.
You didn't choose.
Yes.
Is technically just because you're working together, you become friends.
Yes.
So this person, you didn't pick them because of their temperament. You didn't pick them because of how well they do something. You didn't connect at that level. You connected by the virtue of you spend 8 hours or even more with them on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Now, if we bring this person to the inner core without being very aware that this person has become a true friend now, no longer an acquaintance or a colleague at work, then we will be confusing things. Two, no matter how healthy we want to sound when we talk about workplace friendship, they are based on competition. Because there is promotion coming, everyone is there because they want to grow. If there was a promotion, they wouldn't say no for you.
Oh, yeah, of course. Actually, she is performing very well.
Yes.
I think she should be the person you should hire.
Exactly.
But I would do that if it's true.
Yeah. So this person will not say no for you. They will say, yes, I am lady, born lady.
I was born to conquer this.
Exactly. Yeah. I am better than Kanana.
Yes, it's true.
Are you even asking? You should be telling me. It's obvious. But is it? So it's because the root is based on competition. We want to conquer. We want to be better. And that's why, we look at the cars that are passing. Even if you're driving yours, you're still admiring the guy who is in front of you. or next to you driving this, and you're looking at that Range Rover and you're thinking, whoa, look at
it's
that.
a new edition. It looks
why?
Yeah.
Comparison.
Wow. Reminded me, I was read a lot of pieces and articles from people, and someone wrote a piece about how you need to build yourself and build your brand to the point that even when you quit you lose your job, you still have a brand. And you don't want people to call you, they used to call you, hey, Mr. CEO, madam.
But when you do not have that title,
even your name, you're called your full name, Karo Kanana Makena Kagwara. You're like, Osio. Your name is not even in full.
Yes. Or they're confused. How should we regard you? What's your value?
Yes.
Because you're not influencing them, you're reprimanding them.
Oh, that's sad.
Now, again, the number 3 is now they are based on hierarchy and the positions that we hold. And the position comes with your status. After here, are you going to the parking, or are you looking for the easiest exit out and, the easiest matatu to your house? Matatu route to your house,
Have you ever been to an event? And and then maybe when you're starting live and you can't afford a cab.
Oh God.
You can't afford any other means apart from public means. And they'll pack, you're speaking for, you're at a high end or high level event, and all you're doing is commuting from that place to, you're even trying to find out, stage iko wapi? Where is the stage to this place?
Exactly.
And maybe the event went a bit longer. You have to walk. Ama you go to the parking lot, you have to seek for, which side are you heading to? That thing used to trouble me. It still does. Which side are you heading to? You give me a ride.
My goodness.
That thing used to drain me so much that to the point that whenever now I started running programs, I would ensure if you're going for any event, we are figuring out how you're being dropped and how you're being picked. Because
I have ever pitched actually. few years ago.
Oh my God.
And I did a very good pitch. I was almost certain I am getting it. I am getting that consultancy.
What happened?
Then the owner, it's an international school. The owner, after the meeting, he actually, told me, no, I can walk you into the parking as we finish the discussion. Now, this place was quite interior. So you couldn't get a cab. The only thing was, to ride or to get a ride via motorbike or public means.
Oh my God. And they're taking
so I had to tell him after tumesimama kwa parking for 5 minutes, by the way, it was good seeing you. I expect your call. And I exited the gate now to look for a motorbike or public vehicle. And I never got a call from that school. And I highly suspect it was because of Route 11.
Oh my God. What?
Yes. And that really affected me. To a point of, if I was not having a cab, I would not go to pitch anywhere. Because it reminded me. My self-esteem and my ego was bruised.
Oh, sorry.
You see now, that's what we are talking about. And many people face that on a daily basis.
True. Very true.
It's if you do not have a car, if you do not have this.
Even some industries, you have to come up with the car.
Yes.
For them to give you a contract. Exactly. And you wonder, is that the route we are planning to take?
If you do not have a ride that is worth 5 million, we don't think you can deliver.
Is it the car that is delivery?
Were you just quoting 50 million here? And you came with Route 11.
Like you wanted to check it was, what do you do when you have gone through it? You laugh.
I quoted some few millions.
You're kidding. How many did you quote?
I think that's the question he was asking himself.
So how can you quote this and yourself you
Yes. But
what if that
that's
day
a wrong
actually
way
you
of
don't?
really
Yeah.
looking at it.
Because you can deliver. I know you.
Yeah.
I have seen you do deliver.
Exactly.
So if I judged you by the car you drive,
yes.
Honestly, that is not fair. It's not the car
that the parking lot.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't come with it. So you see now the foundation competition.
Yeah.
You didn't choose who your colleague is. They went through an interview. They either found you or you found them. Then number 3, now there is class and status. Depending on how many zeros do you get at the end of the month from this company. So now those are the kind of people you want to tell me that if you're sick and you couldn't wake up from your bed, or if you're fired, they are your inner core. Many of us do not have that advantage.
Yeah.
So confusing that status, that CEO, that marketing manager, that HR, that whoever, with real friendship, just because people will call you regularly because you are a HR manager in a certain company, you think you have friends.
Wait until
the day you will be fired from that company, you will know being a HR means nothing.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it's about what are you giving me, and not what we are giving each other. It's not about the value you're adding to me as I, add into you. It's about what can you give me, period. If you're not resourceful, if I do not regard you as a resource to me, then you're not my type. You're not of my class. So that is the friendship that we are having.
Yeah.
And because we spend a lot of time together, proximity brings, that laxity and people opening up to each other. But that is not friendship. It's just because you're there.
The moment you step out, you're no longer. But then you'll know the people who are your friends.
True.
The moment you step out of that door.
Like, for example, a few years ago, I was in NGO world. I was getting a lot of calls in NGO world asking, hey, is there a job there? Can I do this? Can I deliver that? Can I be a trainer for this? Can I be a trainer for that?
I'm laughing because of the story.
All I get is clients. I got free. I have had, an emotional breakdown here. So what happened to those phone calls?
Because you couldn't
give my position there.
Yes. Because you couldn't give them then.
Exactly.
So that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Right now I'm in consultancy. If you are not a psychologist, you will not probably be in my circle.
Yeah.
So because I will not offer you a job in NGO world, so if my identity was tied into that, probably I would be in a depression, case.
So how do we, now that we know what work relationships, different aspects of work relationships, I would also want to learn, even as we progress in my career and my new brand.
Absolutely.
How do I build a boundary and at the same time build that friendship at work? Because I'm a person who is I would love to speak someone's name when they're doing the right work. I would say their name in different spaces because that's who, as a person, I believe, if someone is doing a good job, recommend them. If you're asked, who can do this? Don't start saying you don't know, by the way. People who say, who can do this?
And I don't know.
It does not make sense to me. How is it hard for you to say someone's name? You just mention their name in a
sometimes it's because it's not helping me.
But even if it's Are you doing it anyway? Let me not even become.
But that's the reality.
You can't do. I don't believe you should. We should be doing things because you're getting something out of it.
That's
it
becoming
should be
a Dead Sea.
Imagine, you should be a person who can do this. I know Godfrey can do this.
Yes.
If you test Godfrey and you discover Godfrey is not what you're seeking for, you'll tell me, we tried Godfrey, but for this project, we need XYZ. Then I'll help you and name another person who I know for the XYZ can deliver.
Yes.
If I can't name people in spaces where I'm in, where else am I naming them? If I can't say your names in
True.
And there's a need for your service,
but those are friendships.
Then what am I doing?
Those are friendships for you.
Yeah, because I've been in a room where someone didn't mention someone's name, and then someone else mentioned their name,
and they were not happy about it.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, that person can't deliver." You know, that person took the deal and delivered beyond and above.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the image that came after?
You know why that
person can't deliver?
It's again competition. They think that person will do better than I am. So I will not give you.
And we'll have a cup of tea with you again.
People are doing it every day.
That's sad. Okay, this is why we need to know where our friendships lie, because it feels sad.
There is a story that I don't remember very well, but I will try to illustrate it. It's actually in the Bible where I think Jesus was being asked about the sinners and the righteous people, and he gave a very good scenario of the wheat and something else. And that was the weed, but there is a name that he used. When the wheat is growing, there is also weed that comes with it.
Yes.
But when you're harvesting, you actually, even after cutting the wheat together with the weed, you will actually select
the wheat.
The wheat from the
weed. Yes.
So the weeds you will throw them away.
Yes.
The wheat you will harvest.
Yes.
Because it has value.
Because all of it may grow at the same time. In the harvesting time, you have to harvest it, but you'll have to be wise enough to pick it up.
So he actually said, you do not need to uproot the weeds, because if you uproot, they will come out with the
roots
wheat.
For the
wheat. So let them grow. But the person who will be harvesting, the farmer, knows the wheat from the weed. So the same thing when it comes to friendship, we have got to be very attentive to how are these people behaving? Are they able to call me out? Are they adding value to me? So if they are not, then you need to sieve, you need to measure. Is our friendship about the things that we do together or is it about your development? Are these people attentive to what I do? Are these people aware of the kind of support I need? And are they ready to help? So you need to assess your friendship, one, and ask, who do I regard as a good friend and a personal friend to me? Who is in my inner circle? Usikwe kama politicians, nilisikia that unaweka mtu kwa committee, their mind, they are just thinking in their minds, nikiweko kwa hii committee naweza pata tenda. So they're not thinking about your winning. It's good, but it's about my interest. So the person you have in your inner core, what are they looking for? What is their interest? Have you been able to sieve and look? Because if you confuse them for a person who really cares for you when they are just interested with what you've got, then one day you'll be surprised. You'll get a surprise of a lifetime.
That's sad.
So you need to really select from wheat and weed and take the wheat home. If you're in the market and someone was selling goats and the other was selling a hyena. A hyena will attract people.
Yeah.
But the person who was coming to buy a goat will go with a goat home.
Yeah.
Not the hyena.
Yeah.
The hyena will attract the crowd for fun.
Yeah.
But do not think or do not be right that the person who was buying the goat
will buy the hyena
because
it's attracting people.
Because it's attracting the crowd. No. They will go with the goat.
Oh my God.
So you need to evaluate. This is where we call for personal assessment and be real with yourself. If you realize that people you have in your inner core are there for their own interest, please start making friendship very deliberately. And I would even encourage, step out of your comfort zone. If you work in IT and they're all in IT and you work together, step out. Look for a HR. You look for any other person you do not share the space of IT with. Because when you do, probably you'll have nothing to offer professionally.
Yeah.
You'll just appear as a person.
Oh, yeah, because if you're ACT and you're HR.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Yeah. What are we doing really
so
professionally?
We are not even competing, honestly.
Yeah, we are not competing. I may not have much to offer professionally, but as a person,
I have much to
offer.
have
much to offer.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what are your experiences on
by the way.
work, relationship, friendship, and family? Because it affects all of us.
Yeah.
How has it affected you? What have you learned from this discussion that you can add? What would you want us to discuss about or to even explain more about? We would love to hear from you. Let's have an engagement. Let's grow each other. Let's interact together because we can also learn something from you, I believe. And with that, we will be able to be better, every person at a time. So that's why we have puzzles of life. We will be tackling a puzzle at a time. And what other puzzles of life would you want us to explore? Yeah.
I agree. No, today now I understand. No more offering solutions.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't offer solution. Don't fix people.
Yeah, people understand them. But that's what even I expect. So that's what I should also offer.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for this this awesome session that we just had.
True.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
I will exercise and I'll give you feedback on my on my friendships and relationships. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening and for your time. We don't take it for granted. Until next time, enjoy this puzzle of life that we have tried to address. So bye-bye for now. Bye.